Hello and welcome to the Subscribe Podcast. My name is Julia Jackson, and I'll be giving you the latest in UCCS news from the Scribe's current and upcoming stories. To start off, Allison Spear covered the UCCS response to the March 22nd Boulder King Soopers shooting, including the March 29th moment of silence, Chancellor Venkat Reddy's email statement addressed to the campus, and student voices on the incident. Then, Brianna Bisi previewed an upcoming virtual lecture titled Exploring Our Urban Forest with Christine Bierman, an assistant professor of geography and environmental studies at UCCS, in partnership with the Colorado Springs Pioneer Museum. In his article, Devin Martinez interviewed another professor, Raphael Sassauer of the Philosophy Department, about Sassauer's book, The Specter of Hypocrisy, Testing the Limits of Moral Discourse. The book was published in late 2020 and examines the complexity of hypocrisy, particularly through a political lens. Next up, Kaylin Hardin reported on the Roar Days event week hosted by Student Life, which began on Monday, April 5th with Stuff-a-Stuff, a Build-A-Bear-like event that allowed students to fill and take home their own stuffed animals. Other events of the week included a Minute to Win It competition, a drag show, and a retro 90s night. Finally, Cambria Schrenk provided a look at the upcoming Clean the Stream event that will be hosted by the Office of Sustainability on April 23rd, the day after Earth Day. At this event, students, faculty, and staff can volunteer to help clean up the Templeton Gap floodway. Those were last week's news stories for you. This week, you can be on the watch for the following stories. William Pham reports on the new Clydes Road at UCCS and investigates its location and naming, as well as when and how it opened to the public. Next, Allison Spear writes about the possibility of the mask mandate being lifted from El Paso County and how this may affect the UCCS community, including potential differences between campus mask policy and off-campus student hotspots. Kaylin Hardin also reports on the COVID-19 pandemic regarding vaccination progress in the state of Colorado, as well as the UCCS vaccination process. The first vaccination clinic at UCCS was held at the Wellness Center on March 30th for student-facing in-person faculty and staff. A second clinic will be held in April. Lucy Schwartz covers changes to graduation this year and investigates the reason behind the cancellation of the graduation fair. She will also report on how graduates can sign up to participate in the photo op, which is still planned to proceed. Furthermore, her article will discuss what graduating students can expect from this photo op, as well as the Spring 2021 virtual graduation ceremony. Next, Jade Ellis writes about the UCCS Radio's current operations and plans for the future, highlighting the recent expansion of their music collection. She will discuss what you can expect to hear on the radio, including the podcast you're listening to right now. Subscribe. Finally, Annika Schmidt covers the renovation of the Multicultural Office for Student Access, Inclusiveness, and Community, or Mosaic, including where you can access the new office and its resources, Mosaic's plans for the rest of the semester, and how the recent renovations affected these plans. Now you're up to speed on the latest in UCCS news. That's all for this podcast. To read these stories in full, check them out on the Scribe website at scribe.uccs.edu. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at UCCSscribe to stay up to date on all the news on and outside our campus. Thanks for listening.